Hey guys, first regardsman here. I'll be talking about a Power Axe Bulwark build for patch 10.0 Space Marine 2 to completely trivialize the Tyranid faction. Now, Tyranids are by far the most popular enemy faction in Space Marine 2 for players to fight, and even though patch 11.0 is right around the corner and has a reported release date of November 25th, I want to talk about a pretty easy build for players using the Power Axe because people love the Power Axe and people also love fencing defense types, so we'll be using both today. And for the perk tree, we are primarily going to be setting up armor restore, things like restoration and extra gun strike damage off of stuff like power strike. So first up in this tree, we have Perpetual Strength moving down here into the perk Coup de Grace. The last strike of a light combo deals 25% more damage. This doesn't matter too much on a fencing version, but the reason we go down here first is because of the upper tree here, Perpetual Speed and Confident Stance. This perk does barely anything, and this perk is completely redundant with our build, so this is kind of a no-brainer for us. The next perk I take here is Perpetual Strength, moving up here to Perpetual Strength once again for a total melee damage increase of 10%. Then I move here into the perk Patient Stance. While in Power Stance, you don't lose contested health. This is a pretty useful perk because a power stance is usually when you're gun striking, so having a no contested health loss in that is pretty powerful. Next perk over here is Power Strike. Gun Strike from Power Stance deals 20% more damage. Now, to actually get the damage buff from this, you do have to like delay your Gun Strike a bit, but you can also do your Power Wave after delay on top of the Gun Strike and get the Power Wave damage on top of this bonus, which is a pretty powerful combo. It does take a bit of timing practice. Once you get it down, it's pretty strong. Next perk here is Power Wave. Power Backstep Wave damages more enemies. Now, in patch 11.0, this will be better because you'll be able to pick this one up on top of things like Tactical Retreat for a 25% damage buff on your Power Backstep, on top of using it with the Block Axe. But for now, you are stuck to just taking this one. So that's like a patch 10 limitation. But in the future, this one will be way better. Next perk here is Minor Slayer, moving here into the perk Restoration. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores an armor segment. Cooldown is 20 seconds. This is one of the only armor restore perks in the entire game built into a melee weapon. It is also the best because this one is pretty much just copy pasted from the Heavy's restoration perk here, or the same one, the Prestige perk tree for the Vanguard. So really good option for us. And I'm kind of shocked this is actually on the melee weapon because all other variations are stuff like skilled restoration or things like patience rewarded, which require you to be below 30% HP to trigger. This one just triggers off a 20-second cooldown, so a really great pick for us, and by far one of the best reasons to pick this top row. Next perk here is Slash Momentum. Each consecutive World Slash increases damage by 3% up to 30% for 3 seconds. This just helps your horde clear a bit, though the fencing version is already pretty damn good for Minoris anyways. We do skip over the perk that some people might want to pick up with Endless Slash. You can endlessly chain your World Slash attacks because usually you're not doing more than 2 World Slash attacks anyways, so this one's kind of redundant. It doesn't really help you out a ton. And having this little bonus here, you can still trigger this pretty easily without this perk anyways. So that's why I pick it this way. That's pretty much all there is for the weapon perk tree. Now, for the secondary weapon selection, we are going to be using the fabled Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. Now, a lot of you, if you've watched this channel, you already know this thing has incredible stagger, incredible DPS, and amazing CHP recovery, and the only thing holding it back is ammo economy, which is why you pretty much pick up all the ammo perks. You, of course, pick up Plasma Collection down here as well, and Divine Might for a 10% bonus damage. And I will say, this weapon is very powerful. The stagger is super helpful versus Chaos especially, but if you want to use something like the Heavy Bolt Pistol, you can definitely do that too. The Firepower variant has the highest overall gun strike damage in the game currently, until like patch 11.0 when the Bolt Pistol gets buffed. But for now, this one's like peak at the moment. And if you're going to be building this one, I would just take the bottom row for things like Death Strike, and of course go up here for things like Tactical Precision. If you're playing Vanguard or Assault, I usually take things like Able Damage because it says after using a class ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. But on the Bulwark, you aren't using the banner as much as like a jump pack and stuff like that. So up here, I think it's just overall better. And the perk here, Discipline, when you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. This one's actually very powerful, especially on the Firepower variant, because you get to low ammo very easily on this. And you also would probably want to pick up things like Auxiliary Reload in your Prestige perk tree, or you will run out of ammo incredibly quickly. But to be honest, this weapon's ammo economy It just sucks, so I probably would go with the ammo reserve option. That's up to you. And for the regular bolt pistol, the heroic bolt pistol is quite powerful as well. And the perk tree setup for this will be going down the top row. For the perk here, Elite Hunter, because this is a very powerful enabler for this weapon. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary choice, in my opinion. Neo Volkite is not a terrible gun. Its CHP recovery is just awful. So if you're taking this one, you want to have an easy time, I would pick up Invigorating Icon. But that is up to you as well. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary weapon selection. Now, for the Bulwark perk tree here, I did take Intimidating Aura first. A perfectly timed parry deals area effect damage in a 5-meter radius. Cooldown is 5 seconds. This perk is simply incredible. You can pretty much just sit there and aura farm any Tyranid warrior in front of you. It will wipe them out all on its own. It will even wipe out bosses at times. By far the best perk in this column for a fencing weapon or a block weapon, in my opinion. And if you want to take Conviction, you definitely could, but this one for this build, I think it's pretty fundamental. Next perk here, Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 25% less damage from range attacks. Pretty self-explanatory. Free range damage reduction is a free range damage reduction, and being surrounded by 5 or more enemies, especially versus Tyranids, happens all the time. So just a free buff. Next perk here is Armor Reinforcement. Non-finished for gun strikes restore 1 armor segment. Any amount of armor remaining in Space Marine 2 will reduce all incoming melee damage from even bosses to 0. So if you're fighting Tyranids that are primarily a melee faction, this perk is simply incredible, especially versus things like Lictors and Raveners that will like to, bop you around. It's going to help you a ton, and Carnifex bosses even will kind of just like tremble before you. So great perk, especially great perk in combination of things like Intimidating Aura and a fencing weapon. So great synergy in this build here overall. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all of your squad members automatically restore 1 armor segment. This perk is just free armor regen, and we are building with armor advance this time around, so having more armor is pretty useful for us. And honestly, free armor for your whole team is just free damage reduction, so it really can save to classes like the Tactical especially, and overall, Focus Restoration is a top tier pick. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies in its area of effect. This perk can almost 100 to 0 a Tyranid warrior. It does like 4 damage per tick. And to put that in perspective, a Tyranid warrior has like 308 HP, so leave them like 20 HP by the end of your banner with Glory's Shield. So really great option there. And Purity of Purpose will also just basically wipe out Minoras all on its own. So this one is by far the strongest in this column currently. And the next perk I like to take usually is Glory's Shield. All of your squad members in the banner's area of effect take 20% less damage, and the banner lasts 20% longer. Now, obviously, Invigorating Icon is a better perk than this one because this one just prints HP for your entire team, and I will be using this in the actual gameplay showcase because it is the best perk in this whole column. But Glorious Shield is my personal favorite because it just lets you use your banner more often and have your banner out for longer, which is kind of the whole fun of the Bulwark class, in my opinion. Planting a banner, holding a line, and dealing damage to enemies of Purity of Purpose is really an entertaining playstyle, and this one really helps that out a ton. Now, for the next perk here, Inspiration does give a 20% damage buff to your entire team in the banner, but Merciless Resolve in this build, if you're taking Vibrating Icon, is probably better because the 15% damage bonus is pretty much free off a Shield Bash. All you have to do to trigger this perk is just Shield Bash the air. You don't actually have to hit anything or just Shield Rush the air. So you also get that no knockback effect on top of Armored Advance, and there are times where you have no armor remaining and you need no knockback, and this will simply be a redundant effect for that and really help you out at times. So if you really want to take any of the signature perks here, none of the Bulwark signatures are that bad. Defensive Mastery is pretty strong if you like happen to body an Extremis, and Emergency Countermeasure does have a pretty powerful effect with a Shock Grenade, but in patch 11.0, the 90-second cooldown of this will be put down to 45 seconds. Just keep that in mind. This one's going to get way better, but for now, I'm building it this way. And that's pretty much all there is for the main perk tree. Now, for the Prestige perk tree, you have quite a few options here. I did actually skip over the Overcharge perk today. Charge attack damage increases by 20%. This does affect things like the Power Rake and the Thunderhammer Aftershock and your Shield Rush, but for this build, I don't think we're getting a tremendous amount of value out of it. You could definitely take it with like the Shield Rush and stuff like that, but overall, I decided to take Resilience, Auxiliary Reload, Powerful Shot, and Masterful Defense instead because bonus range damage is pretty powerful. Having extra ammunition, especially for a plasma pistol, is very powerful, and Masterful Defense giving you 1% CDR for every blocked range attack. This is a god tier perk. CDR in any horde shooter is incredible because usually your class abilities are like the best part of your entire class. Bulwark is no different, and especially with the increased CDR of our Invigorating Icon debuff here, you really do want to have this extra cooldown or this extra cooldown reduction. So Masterful Defense Helps you out a ton versus both Chaos and even Tyranid Devourers and stuff like that. And I pretty much pick this on any build that uses a shield whatsoever because it is just that good. My defense.
Fresh magazine.
What's your go-to the combo with defensive power axe? You just chain slash them.
No
I mean, as far as damage goes on this thing, even with coup de grace, it's not great. So you're mainly a parry stick. It's not terrible, but meat tastes pretty good. Stuff all Skyrim mentioned. Orc supremacy. Orcs were actually fucking OP in Skyrim. That was like the one benefit they got for being ugly as shit. Double melee damage is pretty fucking intense. Enrage, oh yeah, but like I don't think most players play on Absolute, to be honest. That's the only place you find Enrage, if I didn't put it on there. Is the battle axe getting a buff? Yes, the block axe is getting access to power stance on top of them reworking the perk tree a little bit. So basically you'll be able to move into the top portion of the perk tree more easily now in the upcoming patch 11. Meat is a honey wine, a modern thing. Really? Never had meat. Okay, when is the patch coming? It's coming November 25th. So it won't block power, the block power set animation lock after a perfect block. It's not as bad as you think. It can happen a little bit sometimes, but it's definitely worth the damage. I think block axe is the best weapon in the game now, personally. Assuming there are no changes, I think the tier list will just be like number 1 block axe, number 2 power fist, and like if it's not block axe, it's power fist. If it's not power fist, it's block axe. Whole shebang. FGG, do you know if armor advance is bugged? In what way would armor advance be bugged? Mead, Valheim mentioned. Valheim's a great game. Block axe is gonna go so hard in the patch drops. Definitely will. Let's try the ammo over there that we're gonna grab before. Because I get knocked back while having armor all the time. Well, the no knockback in this game isn't like properly described. There are still attacks that will knock you back when you have no knockback active.
Where shall I plant this flag?
That was kind of a little confusing for players. Got about 2k hours on Valheim. Valheim's a fun game every update because you are Saber's bitch. That's just how it is, but doesn't mean you can't give your dog a little treat. A little biscuit. That's all I'm saying. I had a dog. Time ago. Probably get another one. Probably buy a Bernese Mountain Dog. You guys ever seen a Bernese Mountain Dog? They're cute as fuck. I'd share. Yeah, I feel that. Give them a banner or a few armor pieces. Yeah, something like that. Give them, like, honestly, just give me the shittiest looking helmet. Give me like a beta helmet, you know? This is really the fencing axe. That's pretty good. Monkey, enjoy game and cosmetics. I sure do. As often I've run this an Australian Shepherd. Bernese Mountain Dogs are like one of the cutest dogs of all time. The worst part about Bernese Mountain Dogs is they don't live very long. They only live for like 8 years. Something. That mystery is a tiny ass dog, but like, why the fuck? Why the fuck would you want a tiny dog? You know what I'm saying?
Our glorious banner strengthens our movement. This galaxy is not yours to devour.
Monkey, enjoy game and cosmetics. I sure do. Yeah, I love them. He's about 75 pounds. Bernese Mountain Dogs are pretty sick. Would you rather kiss an orc or Eldar FCG? Probably an orc. Probably just tastes like a portobello.
There's no going back, brothers.
Those are pretty good mushrooms. The Eldar would probably shoot you after. I mean, the orc would probably kill you too, but like the orc I could probably talk out of it. Maybe. There's no talking Eldar out of it. Any dog under 40 pounds is a cat. Some I see a Parks and Rec fan when I hear one. See one, read one. Are most of your viewers UK guardsmen or US like yourself? It's funny you asked this, 'cause I was talking to my friends about this the other day of like metrics, because we had most of my friends are not gaming YouTubers. They're like anime and book YouTubers. So most of their viewers are from like Philippines, India, and in my case, for 40K, it's almost all. It goes like US and then the UK, so it's like 40 something percent, like 50% US, like 30 or 40% UK, and then Australia, and then Russia. No, it's Australia, then like France, and other European countries, then Russia, then everywhere else. So distinctly different. You can very much tell where 40K is popular. So it's the US and the UK primarily. To answer your question, but it's just funny to me that you asked me that, because I actually recently looked into this for my own curiosity. Hivebreaker title would go hard, definitely would. French to regardsman, dude. Even Saber shits on the French randomly. I mean, it also just makes sense. You'd have a lot of like Saber's a Russian company, if I remember correctly. I don't know much of how many of their devs are in Russia, but oh my God, triple zone probe again. So like the PTS was actually holding back so hard. But like triple spawns, I feel like this is pure tinfoil hat shit, alright? But I feel like Saber Interactive changes the spawns in this game on the server side with like zero update warning at all. Because like occasionally the game will start doing this all the time, like an entire patch period. And not like the normal where this game always has a min-max cooldown to how many spawns you can get, but like it's consistent. Just consistently awful for a bit. There seems to be a very loyal fan base in Canada based on how many content creators seem to live there. Oh yeah, Canada too, but like I just consider like, yeah, Canada, UK, and the US are my top three, I'm pretty sure, in terms of ship. Make sure you guys got your tinfoil hats on. I mean, I always do. Never took mine off. I've been taking mine off since the Weird Al music video. Guys ever see that? Pretty good.
Stay alert. Used by a
Perish. I was taking a drink. Son of a bitch. Perish. I'm on the West Coast too and play the Japanese a lot. See, I'm on the East Coast, so my ping be fucking dog shit with anyone in Asia. But that means I get to play all fun and stuff with my boys. No.
Inserting rounds.
Aluminum Foil, great song. That was a great song from Weird Al. It's my favorite one from them.
Fresh magazine.
FTG is Rogue Trader worth buying? Abso-fucking-lutely it is. Great game. If you like 40k and you can read, you'll like that game. Had to fight 2 helpers in the hard strategy. I'm pretty sure that's pretty normal. Right, well. Eat it. Perish.
Inserting rounds. Fumbled its tactical advantage. Fresh cuts.
By the way.
See those tunnel below.
I'm just happy that Hellbrutes aren't hard to deal with. Yeah, they're pretty easy to block. You know, I'll say the worst thing in this game right now in terms of fun is balanced parry window. Balanced parry windows kind of makes everything anti-fun.
Reload.
What could be fun is automatically made not fun. The balanced parry window. Click, click, click.
Ammunition expended. Load up.
Amish Paradise and White Nerdy are my favorites, and Fat from Weird Al. Yeah, Weird Al is a classic. My friend's a really big fan of Weird Al. So he got me into some of the music. I got an OG. Fuck, I'm late. When does patch 11 drop? 25th of November. The bowl cut causes them to be illiterate. That's intense.
Our banner awaits unfurling.
The Tyranids seem to know you're close. They are amassing at the fortress.
Steel yourselves, brothers. They will not stop us from activating the cannons, Captain.
Alright, there we go. I absolutely love Weird Al. Who doesn't? Everyone in the chat probably knows who Weird Al is because you're all old. Like me. 25th December. I mean, I'm called old.
We will not be intimidated.
It's an honorary title though. I'm not there yet. On 25th December, FTG keeps saying it wrong. Not sure why. Yeah, it's 25th of December. It's on Christmas, guys. The hubris of Saber Interactive to say that the patch comes out on Christmas Day. They just released Techwing for Christmas. I'd fucking buy it. I'm probably gonna be streaming all Christmas Day anyways. I think it's something fun to do. Maybe not all Christmas Day, but a lot of it. We'll see.
The weapon destroyed.
How old even is that? That was a lot of extremists. 30 extremists in a normal one. Damn.